Spider-Man's grapple, one of the only things keeping Spider-Man relevant in any way. While some people will swear it's super broken and has no counterplay, I'm here to say that there is a lot of counterplay. Who you target is really important, and keeping your eye out for what cooldowns to wait and bait can be the difference between a kill and just being annoying. This is a tier list with every character in the game. S tier is basically a free kill for Spider-Man. If they're near a pit, you should always target them. And anything in D tier is just near impossible to pull off the map, and it's usually better to not even try to pull them. Though, there are exceptions. I'm going to go over every character and talk about how easy or hard it is to get a pull kill. When it comes to getting pull kills, there's two topics to keep in mind. How easy is it to hit the grapple? Doctor Strange is a good example. He can block the grapple with his shield. The second topic, how easy can that character escape the void once you drag them over? If we continue with the Strange example, Strange can use his flight to get out of the pit. However, if he doesn't have that cooldown, he dies. And you can cancel it with an uppercut. So let's continue by talking about tanks. Tanks are the best to target because usually Spider-Man can't kill tanks on his own. They have too much health and are usually getting pocketed. However, maps ignore all of this, and when you do kill an 800 HP hero, it's going to give you a massive chunk of ult charge. Hulk, S tier. Hulk is a really easy target. His only counterplay is his bubble, which can save him and others from your grapple. However, being hit by the grapple resets his jump meter, meaning he has 0 ways to save himself once he's over the pit. Not only that, but if Hulk ever ults, you should be cheering for joy because he becomes a massive 1500 ult charge. Since he loses his bubble ability and becomes a massive hitbox, this is a super easy grab and you should always be going for this. Captain America, A tier. Captain America can use his shield to block the grapple, but he has a lot of trouble getting out of the pit. All of his movement is very horizontal with little verticality, meaning unless there's a ledge below him to dash to, once he's grabbed, it's a free kill on usually an unkillable hero. I put him in A because he's usually hard to target since he's moving around a lot and hard to hit. Groot, S++. I'm moving Groot into his own tier because this character just gets bullied by Spider-Man. He just has such a big hitbox, he's super slow, meaning it's easy to predict where he's moving, and he really just has nowhere to save himself. He can use his walls to block off pits, but in general, if I see a Groot and it's on a good map, it's a really fun time. I'm geeking the whole way. I just have way too many clips of Groot to not put him in his own tier. Venom, A tier. This may be controversial and you can argue with me, but most Venom players aren't used to being targeted. Venom has no way to block the grapple, and his only way to save himself is his swing. So no swing equals death. And you can cancel his swing with an uppercut. He can wall climb if he's able to touch a wall, but Venom is not a bad target to go for. Thor, A tier. Another tank with no way to block the projectile. His only saving grace is his dash, but on some maps you can pull him further out than he can dash to. Yes, she can block the projectile with her shield, and yes, when she is in her diamond form you can't pull her, however, she's still a great target to go for. Her only way to get out of the pit is her diamond form dash, but it's quite short at 4 meters. An unaware Emma is basically a free kill. Penny, B tier. She has no way to block the grapple, and while she does have a wall climb and an in quotes web swing, she's still not a bad target to go for as you can catch them out quite a lot, but they do have a lot of tools to escape. Magneto, A tier. Mag can block the grapple using his shield and his bubble, and if he is pulled off the map, he does have his float or he can use his ult to escape. However, if you force a Mag to ult, this can be a really good thing for you and your team. Mag's ult counters a lot of ultimates, and forcing him to use it when he shouldn't is really good for your team. And you can just wait until he ults and just grapple him right after for a free kill. Let's move on to strategists. After tanks, these are the heroes that you want to target next. Their ults win games, so the less they get to play, the better. But unlike tanks, they have smaller hitboxes, so in general, it's going to be a lot harder to hit them. Luna, S tier. She has no way to block the projectile and no movement abilities to escape the pit. However, you can't grab her when she's ulting, which is the only caveat. Mantis, S tier. Same deal as Luna, except she can be pulled off while ulting, which feels great when you pull it off. Both Luna and Mantis have stuns, which is the only real counterplay they have to try and stop you at all. Cloak, B tier. Cloak's fade can save her, but it's tricky. Spider-Man's stun stops you from using an ability or moving your camera, so the Cloak has to react quickly. If the death pit is really far away, they're going to have time to just fade away. However, this doesn't make them a bad target. A good time to go for them is after they ult. They're either going to save themselves, or you get some insane value by stopping her ult. Invis Woman, C tier. Her shield can block your grapple for herself and others, and she can save herself with a double jump, and it's really hard to hit someone when they're invisible. Also, Invis can just push you away as you try to engage. Loki, A tier. As long as you target the right one, his only counterplay is to swap away, which doesn't always work out. You can even pull him out of his runes to die to a pit. Jeff, B tier. Jeff can't be grappled while ulting or in his Finn form, but if you manage to hit a Jeff, it's a free kill as he has no way to escape the pit. Really small hitbox, 2 dashes, a way to float, wall climbing. Even if you hit a rocket, unless their monitor's turned off, you're never going to get a kill. Fun fact, if Adam dies to a pit, he can't use his res ability, and that works for Mantis as well. He just has no mobility to counter the pull. Simple as that. This is the new character for Season 2.5, and what do you want me to say? He can fly. Now, onto our last and biggest category, Duelists. So with how big this category is, I'm just going to group up a huge bunch into D tier, and just kind of quickly go over them. Human Torch can fly, Iron Man can fly, Storm can fly, Spider-Man's Spider-Man, Iron Fist has 3 jumps and a dash, Star-Lord has just infinite flying, Scarlet Witch has 2 dashes and can float, Moon Knight has a float, jump, and a grapple, Wolverine has 2 types of dashes and one of them's on a 3-second cooldown. Okay, now that that's over, let's go over the duelists that you can try to kill. Black Widow, A tier. She just doesn't have the mobility to escape once she's grabbed. Hawkeye, C tier. Same thing as Hawkeye, she can escape with her bird, but it is on an 18-second cooldown, so you can catch her out. He can use his dash, but it's still a good target to go for, as it's not the easiest to use. It requires a really fast reaction time to even save himself. Namor, B tier. Once you see Namor use his bubble, it's pretty much a free kill. He can float, but that doesn't really help him much. A good Punisher can use their smoke grenade to try to escape, but if they mess it up, it's a free kill. Yes, you can't grapple him when he's in his whatever you call this form, but if he's in his inflated form, not only is his hitbox bigger, but he has no way to escape the pit. He can use his dash to try to escape, but I find it's just way too slow to activate, and most of the time, Mr. Fantastic's die to the pit. Magic, D tier. Not impossible, just really difficult when she's constantly getting iframes from her portal and multiple dashes. Panther, D tier. They have the same flaw. They have 1 dash they can use to escape, however their second dashes won't save them. It's just really difficult to hit a Panther. While she does have 2 dashes, some Psylocks will get out and some will just mess up, but if a Psylocke ever dies to a pit, it's more a reflection of their skill level than yours. And that's every character currently in the game. I made a Discord, join it if you want to get sticky, and as always, go get sticky.